Hello, greetings everyone. In this video, I am going to explain you how to use the offset function. The offset function is one of the Excel's best kept secrets, probably because it's quite tricky to explain and can be confusing to understand. So, in this tutorial, I am going to do my best to keep it simple so you can get your heads around it, and then I'll cover a few of the most useful ways I find to use the offset. The Excel offset function returns a cell or range of cells that are specified number of rows and columns from the original cell or range of cells. Before using the offset as a property in Excel VBA, I would like to make you understand what exactly the offset function does in Excel. Then we will surely execute the one for you in the Excel VBA. The offset formula gives us the reference to a range from a given starting point with a given height and the width in the cell. So why not I directly write the reference and give the reference of a particular cell? Then why should I use the offset for? I can mention the reference like A1 to C4. Always refers to the range A1 to C4, that is, it is static. But sometimes we want our range to be dynamic. This is required because our data is changing. Every month, new row is added. Every time we launch a new product, a new column is added, etc. So here, offset helps me when my values are unknown. Say, if I want the value 2 rows below the cell B5 and it should be 1 column ahead of the given reference. So what will be the exact value that I want? The exact value will be here 588. Since it is 2 rows below the given cell reference, that is B5, and 1 row ahead the given cell reference. So here 588 will be my value. But what if I update my data every now and then and I need a value for a particular cell reference? Say I need a value 2 rows below B14 and 1 column ahead. Since the value is unknown right now, I cannot specify what exactly the value will be. So here, since offset function is dynamic, it will help me out to do so. So here are the arguments which we will be using with the offset function. The first argument is the starting point from where you want the range to be counted. Second is the rows to move. How many rows you will move from the specific range. Next will be the column. How many columns you want to move from a specific range. Then you need to mention the height from a specific cell reference and the width from a specific cell reference. So here I have a formula. I have used this formula here. So if I say F2, it will give me the display of the formula here. I have used the offset formula here. My cell reference, the specific cell reference is A2 and the starting point is A2. The rows I need to move from A2 is 3. If I move 3 rows below A2, it will give me March. Then if I say 2 columns ahead of A2, then it will give me West. But if I say the height is 1 and the width is 1, then it will keep on referring to a particular range. So here, when it will move from A2, 3 rows below, it will move towards March and 2 columns ahead of March. So this is the value that I will get. So here I have an example for you. If I say F2, it will display the formula here. So here the specific cell reference from where I need to move is the A2. So when I'll click on A2, I want that it should move 3 rows below and 2 columns ahead. So here moving 3 rows below will give me March as the output, and moving 2 columns ahead will give me the value as 1034. The height and the width is 1. So here it will give me the value as 1034. Now say I want to find out the sum of a required range, but I don't know what exactly is the required range. What are the values in the required range? So offset will help me out in this case. So here what my formula tells me, sum, find out the sum for a given range with the help of the offset. Now here moving 5 rows below A2 will give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that is May. So it will give me May as the output, and moving 1 column ahead will give me 691. The height will be the same, that is 1, so I won't be moving down or up. It will give me the same value, that is 691, and it has told me to move to width. It has given me the width as 2, that means I have to move towards the right. The value is 691. If I move towards the right, it will add 588 with 691. So let me check out what exactly will be the output for me. It is 1279, 1279. So let me check out if the total of 691 and 588 is 1279. Yes, it will give me the output as 1279. So if you see, the offset helps me with a dynamic range. So if my range is dynamic, if it will keep on changing in the given table, it will help me to find out the required sum for it. What is the next reason that we use offset for? We use offset for the another reason is when we don't know what the exact address is. Say for example, I need to find out the average of the last 7 digits. Here I need to find out the average of the last 7 digits. So here if I update my data, the values will be unknown. So if I want to know the address of the data and use the same address and the data to calculate the average of those values, offset will help me in this case. So here let us see how to use the offset when the values are unknown and the address is unknown. So this is my formula, the function average of the given range which will be found by the offset function. So here starting from C3, so this is my C3 cell. Starting from C3, count the numbers from C3 to C300 and minus 7, whatever will be the output that will act as the number of rows that offset will move from C3. Then the number of columns that will be moved is 0, that is we won't move beyond a certain limit. The height will be 7 and the width will be 1. So let us check out what exactly is the output. So it is giving me 978. So if I find the average of the last 7 numbers here, what it will give me? So here it is giving me the same output as I have got with the help of the offset. So here if I update my value here, let me mention the value as Jan 1. For East, say my sales is 215, and here for West region the sales is 3500. So if you see here, with the help of the offset function my data is updated, but here since I have given the specific range from C8 to C14, it has not updated my data because I'm not using the offset function here, and it is not the dynamic range. So this will act as a static range and this will act as a dynamic range. I hope the concept is cleared for you. Thank you. Greetings everyone. In this video, we will understand the offset function in a greater detail. So have a closer look on all the images. I will explain you each image one by one. Firstly, let's understand the first image. Now here, if you see, the cell which is highlighted in the red color will be the reference cell, and the range which is highlighted in the blue color will be your output. So here in this example, I have given the reference of B13. So if you see here B13, I have given the reference of B13 cell. Now I am telling Excel to move one row below B13 and two columns ahead of that cell, which will be the returned cell when it will move one row below. So here from B13 will move one row below and two columns ahead of B14. So it will give me the cell range, that is D14. And then from D14 I am telling Excel to measure the height of 3 and width will be 2. So height will be 3. It will count 3 rows below, that is from D14 it will count 3 rows below, that is D16 will be my output. And when I will tell Excel to count 2 as a width, then it will take D and E as the column. So, hence it will return the range as D14 to E16. Now similarly I will move on to the second example here. Now here my reference will be a range and output will be a cell. I have given the reference as B20 to B22, and here the number of rows I am moving is nil, column I am moving is 2, height and width will remain the same, that is 1. So it will give me the output as D20. In my third example, I have taken the reference of a range again, that is B27 to B29, and it will move 4 rows below the given reference, that is from B27 it will move 4 rows below, that is B28, 29 and 30. Now from that particular reference it will count 0 number of columns, that is it will not move the column, the row will remain the same. We won't be giving the height and the width to the offset, so it will give me the same number of cells which was there in the reference cells, that is 3. So the output that I will get is B31 to B33. In my fourth example, I have taken the reference of a single cell, that is D39, and I am telling Excel to move 2 rows back, that is from D39 2 rows back will give me the cell reference D37, and then move 2 columns back, that is it will give me B37 as the output. Height and width will remain the same, so my output that will be returned will be B37. I hope the concept is clear to you. Thank you for watching. I hope the offset function is clear to you. Now in this video, I will show you how to use the offset property in Excel VBA. Now here there are few codes. These are the basic codes I will be using first, and then slowly and steadily I will explain you what exactly is the offset and how to use it in a VBA. Say for example, the first code, that is the range A1 to D6 dot value is equal to XL. Now what this code will do? So when I'll say F8, it will fill all the cell ranges from A1 to D6 with the content XL. When I'll run this code, that is clear contents, it will remove or it will wipe all the data which was filled. Now I will say active cell dot value is equal to XL. What exactly it will do? It will activate the current cell and it will fill the value, the text as the XL into it. Now if I say active cell dot clear contents, it will remove the data. My next code is range A1 dot offset. Now offset tells me how many number of rows and columns to move dot value and put the text as XL into it. Now let me see, or let us check it out how it works. I'll say F8. Now when I pressed F8, it counted the number of rows and the columns below A1. Now current cell, active cell is A1. It will move 2 rows below and 2 columns ahead, and it will type the value in there as XL. Now if I say range A1 dot offset, the number of rows and the columns to move dot clear contents, it will remove the contents from the cell where the value of the offset was there. I hope this video is clear to you. Till then, keep on practicing the offset function, because we will be using these offset functions more frequently in the loops. Thank you.